Welcome back to another one of the screencasts. This is on fractions, it's on mixed numbers, and we're going to convert a mixed number fraction into a top-heavy fraction or an improper fraction. If you don't know what that means, you will very, very shortly. But what is a fraction? If you've done these before, then I do apologize, but we are needing to go through it because this is a great example of how fractions differ. Fractions are easy. They're simply a way to show an amount of something. Often fractions represent something that is less than 1, but not always. And today we are going to give you one of those examples. We've got 1/3 here. The top number tells us how much we have of something. The bottom number expresses the size that we have. The bigger the number on the bottom, the smaller the size. Example of that is we've got 1/3 here, so we're going to have that slice of pizza there. We might be sharing this pizza with someone else, but let's not worry about that. Look how it differs if I had 1/6. So all of a sudden, look at the size of that pizza there, that slice of pizza. But if I had 1/6 of that pizza, then look how much smaller that would be. It would actually be half the size. Hence why the bigger the number on the bottom, the smaller the size. Okay, today though, we're going to do mixed numbers. So we're going to have this mixed number and we're going to have to turn it into a top-heavy fraction. Now, what a mixed number is, it's a whole number with a fraction connected to it. Very, very simply, that is what it is. So this would be expressed as one whole pizza plus 2/3 of a pizza. And you might be asked, well, how many thirds of a pizza have you had? And this is where this comes in really, really handy. So converting mixed number fractions is important information. It's easy, it's peasy, it's lemon squeezy, everyone. It's times then plus, but we're going to go into more detail than that today because if you can understand why it's these things, you've got more chance of remembering it. But this is basically how easy it is. We have a fraction. We are going to times those two numbers. We're going to get 1 times the 2, which is going to give us 2. And then we're going to add to the top number. Right, so we've got 1 times 2 is 2, plus the 1, we're going to end up with, I'm just going to bring up the next one. We're going to end up with 3 halves. That is how easy it is, but we're going to go and tell you why. For a long time when I was teaching, I just did how, but it's really important that you know why, because if you understand why, you'll find fractions as a whole topic so easy. So what we've got here is we've got 2 whole pizzas. Sorry if I talk about pizzas a lot, but it's a great one with fractions. We've got 2 whole pizzas cut into fourths. But we've also got 2/4 remaining that we've got to deal with. So let's bring up some pizzas. So I've got 2 timesing by the 4. Can we see this? I've got 2 whole pizzas cut into fourths. I've got 2 timesing by the 4, which actually gives us 8. But I just don't have 8, do I? I've also got 2 more pieces of pizza that I've got to deal with, which has got to be dealt with. So I've got to then add that to it. And that's where that comes from, doesn't it? So I've got 8, add 2, which I hope you'll understand gives me 10. But how many fourths have I got? Well, I've got 8 fourths here, plus 2/4. That's 10 fourths. That's why that bottom number doesn't change. On the next one, I'm going to go 4 timesing by 5. The reason for that is, look, I've got 5, 10, 15, 20. So I've got 20 there. But I've also got 4 more pieces that I've got to deal with. So that's why we add those to it. So I've got 20 plus the 4. I've got 24 fifths. Because look, they're all cut into fifths. That's why that bottom number stays the same. And on the last one here, before I hand over to you and for you to give it a great go on your own, I've got 3 timesing by 4. Look, 4, 8, 12. So I've got 12 there. But I've also got to add the last 2 on, which will give me 14 fourths. Now, hopefully that makes so much sense now that you're like, wow, I never knew that. That's excellent, Mr. Warren. Thank you very much. Next up is the opportunity for you to do these questions. So please don't move on until you're fully confident about this. If in doubt, draw some pizzas out is my top tip. Remember that the top number represents how many you have of something. The bottom number represents the size. So we're cutting these in fourths. We're cutting these into fifths. we're cutting these into fourths. The whole number represents that you've got full ones of them. Hopefully that helps. Anyway, it's your time to shine. Give these a go. Come back and see if you've got them correct. I'm sure you will. And then you'll be on fire and you'll be away. Okay, so the first one is we're going to go 5 timesing by 3. That will give us 15. But we've also got to add that top number to it, don't we? So we're going to add the 1 to it. That's going to give us 16 thirds, isn't it? Yeah? Remember why we don't change that bottom number. On the next one, we're going to go 9 timesing by the 2. That will give us 18. But don't forget to add that top number. We've got to add that top number. So we've got to bang that on there as well. So that's plus the 1, which is going to give us 19 halves. And on the last one, we're going to go and say 5 timesing by the 7, which gives us 35. But we can't forget to add that top number, can we? So we have to add 2 to it, and that will give us 37 over 7. And that is it. It's time now, magically, for the quiz. So please pause the video here if you know what you're doing. If you don't know, go back and watch. Fingers crossed you do know. Come back and see if you've got them right. I'm sure you will. Away you go. So hopefully you've had some time to do those. Here goes the answers now, everyone. We're not going to dilly-dally. We've got 6 times 2 plus the 1, 13 halves. We've got 12 times 5 plus the 2, 62 over 5. And last but not least, we've got 4 times the 7 plus the 6 is 34 over 7. Fingers crossed you've done amazingly well. Write a revision card on this if you possibly can. And have a great day. And as always, it's been a pleasure helping you with your maths today. Hopefully, you've got a little bit better.